thank you so much for coming. My name is Maya Sharfi, and I'm the curator of Creative Somerville. Myself and my team started the Creative Somerville in order to bring a venue in Somerville for people who are working here, building businesses here, creating here, to be able to talk about their story, their process, the ups, the downs, the whole thing, and as a venue for people to get to connect with each other and other creatives within the community. So first of all, I want to do a very quick shout out to Aeronaut for hosting us, to Somerville Local First for co-sponsoring, and then I also want to give a special thank you for the Creative Somerville team, which is Lindsay Pike, Jean Benacorsi, Catherine Rosenberg, Chris Townsend, and Shoshana Resnikoff, and they make a lot of this stuff happen, and they're fantastic. And if you're interested in being part of the Creative Somerville crew, chat with me or one of the folks who has checked you in. So tonight I'm really excited to introduce Maren Kravitz and Heidi Shalek, who are of the training room. Shalek, who are of the training room. So Heidi and Maren are personal trainers by background. They met while working for a gym in 2007, and then in 2009 came together to start the training room. We're going to hear a little bit about their process of building that business without tons of extra money, and really with a lot of hard work. And they built it basically without advertising, and have really focused on a model that puts people and their personal fitness goals at the center and isn't about just selling memberships. It's not a membership-based model. So they've been recognized by the Best of Boston, and all of this without traditional advertising.
Okay, rule number one of all good businesses, contracts, right? Isn't that what they taught you? Here's how we're starting. There's our contract. That's all we have. That is the only legitimate document that's ever been signed by Heidi and I that basically contracts us to the training room. That document was signed at Highland Kitchen. We spent many nights or days planning things at restaurants and bars in different areas, but today that is the only binding contract that we have on a napkin. That's a napkin. Yup. Probably not advisable. We have some lawyers there, but again, what we knew is that this business was only going to work if we both worked. So we'll dabble into that. Is the next one of my favorites? Yeah. The other thing about starting your business, boom. Do you need a loan? No. You need a scratch ticket. I started the training room on a $10,000 scratch ticket. That is not a lie. I swear to God. I got it in a stocking. I scratched it at 7-Eleven. I thought I won $10, so I offered to buy everybody soda and popcorn for the game that night. It wound up having some zeros after it. It was $10,000. After taxes, 7, thank you. But anyways, Heidi and I started the training room on not a lot of money. There's no loans. We don't owe anything to anyone. We don't owe a dollar to anybody at the end of the day. And I think that was pretty important to us to make sure that for us to really be able to dive in, that anxiety for me, especially of owing people money, was not how I foresaw it. Do you have a story behind your money?
I borrowed it from my parents.
So there we go. Some of us scratch tickets and some of us borrow money from parents. So anyways, so while we're going towards how you build your business, where the money comes from, I don't know about loans, so don't ask me, but I do know about pretty decent scratch ticket winnings. All right, moving on. Oh, yes. Oh, business plans for dummies. We bought a couple of why don't you tell us about how you went to Barnes & Noble and you did that? Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that book and read it, and wrote a business plan. And no, it had a DVD that went with it. And so so make a plan, assess your risk, and take the leap of faith. That's kind of our key point number one, with making sure that you think everything through, every possible worst case scenario. Maren's really good with worst case scenarios. So basically now the way we operate is if I can convince Maren that it's a good idea, then it's pretty much 99%, yeah, it's solid. It's good.
I don't budge very often, as you all know, in class and everything like this. I'm a stickler for form and a stickler for things. So Heidi's got to convince me, and we run a lot of things that way. We have an agreement that if it's a no-no, it's a no, and if it's a yes-no, it's a no. It has to be a yes-yes. It gets us through so many non-arguments. We have no disagreements about things. We don't really have to explain it, but for the most part, when it's a yes-yes, we know it's absolutely a yes, and if not, we're not ready yet, or we're not there. So it's been a pretty good flip of the coin for us that's worked out in the past. So I'd say from scratch tickets, LLC books for dummies, I had that one, and no yes, no no, and yes, yes only. Those are 3 good things to take away. All right, moving on. We looked at a few spaces. We actually almost did not wind up in the space we're in, which used to be the Stone Source Company's building. Does anybody know where Bicycle Bell is on the corner of Oxford and Beacon? Anyone? That was almost the first training room. Something in my gut told me that that was a mistake up until the lease was in our hand, even though I just didn't, it was almost all we could have. And I remember filling out the papers and going to sleep that night. I didn't feel very good about it. So somehow it didn't come to be. They wouldn't work with us on the price, I think it was, at all. But Heidi's client happened to find us this amazing space. And why don't you talk about the inspiration for us behind it?
So it was a tile showroom called the Stone Source, and so we kind of took the tiles and the mosaic thing they had going on there, and my brother helped. He designed the logo for us. That first logo with the boxes kind of came from this. I'm just going to let this go. So this is TR1, those of you that have been there before. That's my husband right there, the demo man. We did all of the work ourselves. There he is. So basically it was him demoing, me collecting all of the demo debris, and then Maren
Dumpster diving.
In the dumpster, literally in the dumpster. And then my dad, I think, coming up. Pause on that. No, he's coming up. Yeah, right there. And he's not even here tonight.
Shout out to him. He's not here tonight.
But my mom is. My mom. Yeah. But anyway, they were living in Idaho still at the time, and he came out for 3 weeks. Yep. And in 3 weeks, we had been fired actually from our previous job, so we had a lot of extra time. And
we'll go into that.
Or not.
Or not.
And so it was me, Maren, and a couple other guys from Boston Sports Club at the time, and my dad, and we did it ourselves. He taught us how to frame walls and level floors. That's the back room at TR1. That's the front room at TR1. And paint color. So we both love orange, luckily, so that's kind of been our accent all the way through. That's like 10 years younger. Scary. But we put a hardwood floor in ourselves. I was mostly watching and supervising, and getting tired of watching Maren work.
Still mostly watching and supervising.
That's kind of the dynamic. No, I did a little bit of work. I have a ladder here. That's why I put that in there.
The only time she carried a ladder.
And then we opened. So that's opening day. Pause on that. All right.
So just to put it in perspective real quick, we sent out a letter of intent in February and another one in March. Our lease began in May. We had a soft opening sometime in May because up until that point, do you guys know the park we ran you all up to in Craigie Street? That's where we were training our clients. We had no facility. I trained in a garage, in my garage, I think at the time for the house I owned. We trained at a nice building in Forest City. Thank you for free use of your gym. That's one of my clients over there. We trained anywhere just to keep going because, like Heidi said, we got fired from Boston Sports Club. They thought we were going to open a megaplex. They thought we were staking every single trainer that the Central Square and Davis Square facility had, and that we were opening a giant gym. We opened the training room. So we had to provide our clients with the sessions that we had left, and we had to make sure that we trained that stuff out and kept going, because one of the reasons that we could open and not be so nervous was the fact that we had a clientele existing, which I think is very, very important to do due diligence. If you don't have money in the bank, at least, and deep pockets, you got to have some clients coming in the door. If not, it is going to be a very slow going in the beginning. So for that, our clientele has been, from the beginning, the glue that held us together. With that, pre-selling them, putting a little money in the bank, helped out just so we could get the space open. So we're at opening day, and we're beyond July. And here's how the Shepard Fairey mural came to be. Does everybody know who Shepard Fairey is? Everybody, and nobody's written dirty things to Somerville Online about Shepard Fairey. That happened 2 weeks ago. So we've been asked, you're called the training room. You have a, quote, Arab with a gun on your wall. What kind of training do you do there? I kid you not. I kid you not. We have had, that came up the first couple of months. If anyone doesn't know, one of our clients, Tim, actually was one of the heads of the MFA and the ICA, and they held the Shepard Fairey exhibit, and he had Shepard Fairey's crew come and do an outside mural and an inside mural for us. It's gotten, they just put up whatever we want. We did not get to choose. That's part of it. They do not want you to pick. They wanted to create conversation, just like we're having here tonight. Just as of 2 weeks ago, and you guys can look this up, on the Somerville Online Journal, somebody wrote in, welcome home to Somerville. Nice to see with everything going on, you know, that we have Arabic writing and women with guns, and what is this portraying to the people of Somerville? It was an Army veteran coming home. And you think somebody wrote in who doesn't know the training room and said, did you pay attention to the last election? You know, he did the Obama poster. And once people kind of figure out or learn a little bit more, they're quiet, but everybody is very quick to talk. So I'll be training a session, people are coming in, hey, what's up with that, you know, poster you got over there? So granted, it's brought a lot of conversation, but it is important, I think, for us to have open conversation. And we like art. So again, it's been there, it stays there. It's one of the only ones in Somerville right now that's still standing, so I think it's pretty cool. Fitness on the Ave. Anyone here from the first year? Did anybody? Oh, wow. Opening day. 3 people here. Jen, number 10, I think, on Mind Body. Way to go. 30 on Mind Body. Fitness on the Ave. We decided, why not celebrate? We made it through a year. We haven't killed each other yet. So why not have a band with lawn chairs out in Somerville, in the middle of the street? So we closed off Elm Street in the middle of the summer. We wanted a way to celebrate with our clients, and Heidi happened to know this gentleman on the bike who's rapping while he sings music on the bike. Oh, there's our buddy Derek. So we had Fitness on the Ave, which was great. We managed to have that 3 times? 3 times in a row, and then again, we got a little, yay, Heather bought our first t-shirt. Hold on, you're going too fast, Keller. And then we managed to not really be able to have summertime parties. We noticed it's not well attended in the summertime. You guys all go away, our business slows down, which we know, which is a good thing to know in the fitness industry, that you have ebb and flows, so to plan accordingly. But Fitness on the Ave was fun, and I think our parties have upgraded a lot from there. So, anything else?
What was our first kind of step into just further building the training room as a community and kind of a lifestyle brand, which is sort of our goal, I would say. So it started, yeah, going forward. And I mean, it started way back when. All right, so then we figured let's just open another one. So,
does anybody have anything to ask about Training Room 1? We were going to move on to TR2.
let's just move it
Nothing?
on.
All right, wait. Move on. Go ahead. That's a great question. It obviously was a yes, yes, so Heidi had convinced me 99.9. It obviously was a yes, yes. Heidi must have convinced me, so that's how we decided. I think Heidi wanted it earlier, probably. I wasn't budging on it. And we ran out of space. I mean, any of you know that class gets pretty tight. We had a bunch of wait lists. We couldn't fit more people in. We couldn't fit more trainers in. We couldn't configure the space anywhere else. There were walls, and we couldn't grow outside of it. So along came...
We're always on the lookout.
Oh, but according to Heidi, she's always on the lookout for being on the move. She's 5 steps ahead, I'm 5 steps behind. And then came this beauty of a building, so you can walk us through TR2. You want?
All right, so yeah, this is what it looked like before. It had been an abandoned auto body shop with, for like 10 years, shopping carts out front. That's a weed, not a tree. And then that was the inside of the main room. So if you've been in there, it looks a lot different now. That's the front lounge area. Kind of sitting there collecting dust. That's the spin studio. And there was, yeah, built-in skylight. You want me to pause?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll just talk about the built it? No, it was a wreck, and I mean, did we talk about Tom? Yeah. No. Yeah, go ahead.
So Tom was one of my clients from the first training room, and he's a developer in the area, and kind of had his eye on this building, and so he approached me and said, I think this would be great for your business, and one thing led to another, so he actually purchased the building, which is great, and built it out specifically for our use, and so that worked out nicely, and yeah, and then his crew went to town here.
We almost signed a lease with somewhere else, though.
We did.
Before.
We almost went to Kendall Square.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool building, though. Like, that's a cool building.
it is. Anyways, new roof, spick and span. Let me go through this. Just move the stairway a little bit. We didn't do as much hands-on work. We definitely still pay attention to all the little details. That's kind of my thing. Decor and the branding. Some more spin studio. And MVP again, installing the sound system. So Dad is pretty much here every single year. There's something going on or something gets broken and needs to be fixed, and Dad comes to the rescue. And then we've got equipment going in and getting ready for opening of TR2. Oh, outdoor landscaping choices, orange flowers, all the way.
Wait, that's a story. So we almost didn't open because they weren't happy with our plans for landscaping. Somerville, come on, seriously. Like, if you guys, you have different stories, dude. They want stories. So Somerville's really hard now to open a business. They have all these restrictions on parking and going forward and everything else. I'm sure Aaron knows all about it. Landscaping was a huge concern. Well, where's the landscaping going? Where's the bike racks going? Where's everything going? Again, we went through a couple of rounds with them, and finally, well, there's our landscaping, and thank you, Sarah, for redoing our landscaping this year. That was amazing. But yeah, when you're opening a business, you want to know the town you're opening in, because they have all these tiny little rules that you would never know existed, like occupancy rules and all kinds of stuff. So with TR2 also, with this is all going on, we're also at TR1, all still working all the time. So obviously we couldn't be involved too much in the process over there, but growing a business while running a business is not easy. You wanted to talk about things how do you grow? Well, how do you grow when you're working? And the only way that you can grow is by hopefully someone else taking a leap of faith on you, buying the building and helping you out. Other than that, it would be really hard to grow. We can barely get the night off together to come here, so extracting yourself from the business is now, that's a tough one. So that will go a lot into, because that's my main difficulty, I think, in life, is how do you pull back, but at the same time, always keep your quality up, and that's where our amazing staff will come in, and we'll probably spend the next half of our presentation, but branding, cleanliness, and order. Heidi's the branding, I'm the cleanliness. I would say I'm the order. I'm OCD. Just today, I brought our vacuum to the vacuum doctor, okay? Like, there's still the little things that count. When you guys walk in, one of the first things you see is the actual building, the actual appearance. If it looked like a shithole, excuse my language, you wouldn't want to come there. If it looked like a nasty gym, you wouldn't want to pay the money to go to class. So again, it's always on the forefront of our mind. We're always trying hard to keep everything as in order as can. Heidi's down to the details. Show a picture of how you fold those shirts that are in the, down to like, everybody tries things on. How does it look on everybody? Making sure that the logo's placed in the appropriate way, making sure that the equipment's lined up in an appropriate manner, making sure that the fold, next picture I think it is, boom. We had to go to Crate and Barrel to buy that piece. We're a new business, we're running from Crate. We had to go because we had to show that off for our t-shirts. Keep in mind, that same piece will act as a bar for Heidi's post-wedding that we're going to host at the training room. So training room 2 opened up our ability to host a lot more events. First one being Heidi's post-wedding party, which will be very interesting to see. Then also the way we highlighted our staff in a bunch of stuff, making sure that they were part of it, and just the branding stuff we did. We literally went from house to house. We literally put flyers all over the place. Every year we had boot camp. We walked around and put flyers out. So everything we did it ourselves time and time again. It's not easy. Question, what's up, Kim? What? Boom. I wish we had
Those, the tiles in the beginning at TR1, they were all laid out in the square mosaic pattern. And so that T, it actually looked like that T when we walked in, so that kind of was the inspiration for it. And then my brother is a designer, and so he finished and finalized the design. So, and just, that's been a huge thing for us, or something that's important to me, is just really making sure that all your printed materials look slick, really making sure that anything you put out there looks like it's your brand. And that I think sometimes maybe people don't pay as much attention to that, but it's, I think in some ways that contributes here, and it plays a huge part. So branding is big.
Sometimes if we're a little slow, it's because we're taking our time, you know, we like to make things count, so. Talk about the other logos. I don't even remember how the other, it was like, another logo.
Well, we get our stuff printed locally at Hemlock Ink, and because there's like 10 different shades of gray in the logo, it was really hard to print, and so the new logo sort of came out of needing to have something that was a single color that was easier to print. But also everyone just referred to it as the TR. After probably the first year, no one would say the training room, they'd just say, oh, the TR. So we wanted to have a logo that reflected that. So we still use both of them. And here, this is just kind of our most recent adventure, highlighting clients that make cool things, or artists, or have some connection to someone who's making something cool. And so we have a little shop in the front where we highlight that. And it's kind of a work in progress, but we're hoping to free up some time to work on it a little bit more. This is just another example of things being like, this is Maren's standard of just clean, neat, and tidy. She has our manager there wiping things down by hand. This is our staff. Like we get together, not all the time, but we do get together and do like massive cleaning events led by Maren. And it shows, like and that's kind of, it's so important. And I think recently I've realized how important it actually is, and given her a little bit more credit.
And how expensive it is. Anybody planning a business, budget a lot for cleaning. It's very expensive. So a lot of people wouldn't think that. It's one of our, that and towel service. So love your towels. Don't steal them. You want to go with this? Stop stealing them. Yeah, so our team, I mean, stop stealing them. I know you'll walk out with them. How many of you have walked out with one and come back recently? Thank you. Like every other day, somebody's hiding their sweaty sports bra in the towel, walking out with it. Didn't you try to tell someone they walked out with one recently? And she's like, no, I did not. And she literally had it in her hand. We'll have some funny stories if you ask. I won't name any names. So our staff, moving stuff is tough in the gym. Heidi and I, we're real strong, but you know, thank God for our staff members. They help us out a lot. So that's it. Our team, I love this. Our teamwork makes our dream work. So again, there's Larry again, but why don't you pause for a second, I'll go on to the team. We started small, Heidi, me, one other full-time trainer. Derek, back in the day, for all of you who know him, started out only as an instructor. He wasn't a trainer. He actually met his wife at Boston Sports Club where I used to work. We could tell more stories about Derek, but I've known Derek for a very long time, since he was 20. And he's come a long way. He's been one of our top main supporters. He's been there the longest. Tyler also, that's Tyler, from BSC as well. Manager of the training room now, again, knew him for a while. Rich, got him from BSC as well.
So you did take BSC's entire training?
Oh yeah, but many years later, okay. Boom, ba boom, ba boom, and only the hand-picked ones. Glenn, Rich was having temper tantrums back in the day at BSC, so we took him away from there. Alex, that was the first person that Heidi and I actually hired that we did not personally know, but he was vouched on by Tyler. He had gone through Mike Boyle's, did some training there. So Alex has been with us for a while. Anybody else, or, oh, this is Lynn.
And I think kind of one of the main points with all of these slides and the teamwork thing is just building a team that, you know, that you take care of your people and they want to work for you, and just creating that environment where you new recruit right there in the front laughing. She's the newest member. But yeah, I don't know, just really working hard to lay that foundation.
We started, again, trying to collaborate, building more of a community. We have that giant board. Again, it's hard to keep involved with everything that goes on, but we try to do as many events as we can to get our clients involved as much as possible. That was the nutrition event and chat that we did. We recently had the pull-up contest that we've done. We're always open to ideas and parties, but getting our clients as involved. So we're going to show you a bunch of examples of that happening. Is Pete here? Pete and Miriam? No? All right, well, that's one of our clients, Pete, doing a 5K. Again, we always ask for pictures so we can throw them up on Instagram or on Facebook. That's Pete's wife and her trainer, John. Again, hitting goals, getting wedding ready. Don't know who that is, but that's okay. Oh, Rich's client. We did fundraisers. Every year we've done 1 to 2 events at least. A couple of years ago, or last year actually, we helped out with inner city weightlifting fundraiser, raised some money for a nonprofit for them. Again, you know, even though they do fitness, it's really important what they do. So we thought we'd help out. Again, we try to do as much as we can with providing the service of the facility and the staff to help out, always involving other small businesses. So that's, how do they pronounce it? Good? Something good for food. And then every time we throw a party, we try to use a small business from Somerville as well. One year we used Seashow Kitchen. That's in there. And we used Aeronaut Brewing for our last party. We used Penny Packers for catering. We did an event for Chris, CCFA. He's a coach there. So again, tried to bring him in and involve his foundations. If it's important to the staff, it's important to us. It creates a team. So makes a personal connection between, you know, who they are and who we are. Alex had a fundraiser, so we did something called Bookstore Basketball. Jonathan played on the, what is it, Gaelic football? Gaelic football team, so we had his whole team come in for training twice a week, help them out. We looked into doing some workplace wellness programs, so again, trying that out, just putting feelers out to everybody that we can. And what else? Streets of Gold 5K, really important one that we did for a client of Tyler's. Again, so we get a lot of invites to a lot of things, and when we try to reach out and do something, we want to do it right, but it's hard to do them all. So, MVP again for the win. That's Heidi's dad and mom, of course, finishing strong.
Smoke fire at the very end there.
Sorry. Oh, this was actually one of the first events we did. We did the Rangar Relay. That's before Chris was even a trainer. We did an ultra marathon from Boston to Provincetown. We did it as 6 runners, 4 of us from the training room, and we had people driving us throughout the way. Derek was there, Chris was there. That was before Chris was a trainer. You're going so fast, I can't keep up, bro. Huh? That outfit? Do you guys know that race, the Jingle Bell 5K? Many of you have done it. Have you ever seen the most ridiculous costumes in it? That's our client Ryan Duda. He does all the costumes by hand. That year we were the Avalanche. I had a picture of the Nutcracker in there. You guys remember the Nutcracker year? He was an abominable snowman one year. He was like 7 feet tall. It's one of our favorites. He makes these stuff. But this is, I mean, all stuff. We went up, Derek and I, to ride double century rides on the weekends. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's some of you guys doing 5K. The almighty kettlebell.
Love them.
Who loves them? Oh, come on. You guys, you guys are louder in class. Come on. More beer, yeah. So what we figured out is how many things can we do with kettlebells? Well, we can make cookies with them. Heidi made those. We can have a kettlebell painting party. Has anybody seen the painted kettlebells at the training room? That was a big party that we did. We have some artistic clients. That is the training room TR kettlebell. This was a very big part of your presentation, so I think you gotta like.
Well, it's gonna go quick though if we don't
This is like
stop
10
it at every single one. This is quick. This is Frances. Frances is here. She painted that one. Yes. This is just a quick little showcase of our artistic clients painting their bells. Kettle Bear. There's a few. I put them in. There's a underwater scene. Gotta get both sides there.
You can see where Heidi's mind is when
Yep.
she took over making this presentation. It's now that.
Someone painted a kettlebell like a cheeseburger, and it's
That
just.
one's good.
I think the point is to show that it goes beyond just fitness, right? And sort of getting everyone involved. My brother painted that one. It's the most athletic thing my brother's ever done.
That is true. He's done one more.
And there's a winning lineup. So I think it's safe to say we eat kettlebells for every meal.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And now going on to the TR family, that's, I pause it. Yep, that is Derek's son, Alex. And this next little bit is just sort of the team that we've tried to create and the environment that we've tried to build. Well, Maren getting her nails done.
That used to be Business Partner Friday. That was.
Business part of Friday stopped happening though.
Yeah, it did. You know what?
After about 5 years, we had a little.
Yeah, falling out. I didn't want to get my nails done anymore.
But just making sure that we're seeing each other. I think it's important to make sure that you see your staff outside of work, that you create fun things for them to do and socialize, so it's not all just like work all the time. That's been really good for us, so we try to facilitate that. This was one of the holidays that we had there with a small business across the street. This is the TR family holiday party, and this is just more babies wearing TR gear. Gotta start them young, start them young. This is Maren as the devil for Halloween.
So one thing that Heidi and Tyler are pretty big on that, as sometimes I didn't even see as much of a point to, is we do have a weekly staff meeting, and now sometimes bi-weekly, but just getting together, having everybody chit-chat. If we want to get together outside, but just making sure that that the trainers do come together, bounce ideas off each other, and have a place to voice if somebody goes to a certification, just teaching each other within there. So continuing education doesn't only have to be 2 minutes, recertifying stuff, but also giving your staff a chance to teach each other is really important. Oh, okay, sorry. Keep going. Oh, we're gonna finish. That's Alex and his rodeo. I mean, it just shows our staff doing happy stuff. I mean, he's filling up water bottles. He's doing a 90-minute ride. That's Heidi dressed like me, and me dressed like Heidi. That's us for Halloween, killing it. That was bad. I was Giselle. That was real bad. That's the TR Fall social party. If you did not show up, TJ and the band was there. Thank you, TJ. This is coming up, your wedding party. Oh, this is all the social still, okay. There you go.
So I think one thing that we just did was the clients have wanted, it's a good place for clients to meet each other and sort of see each other outside of just working out. So this is one of the track groups, and it's something that the clients have kind of told us, hey, it'd be nice if we had an event that we could all get together and I don't know, get to know each other. That's my client, Christy, and I was in her wedding. And then that is Maren, who also officiates weddings. This is me and my husband, and Maren actually doing the ceremony, which is nice. And there's a big sort of long line of wedding traditions here, as Alex and his wife is here. And we all went out to their wedding, Chris. And Chris was actually, so one of the guys that works for us was in Alex's wedding. My brother has designed wedding dresses for some of our clients, and it's all over the place, but we have the fashion involved, and the training room sponsoring at local fashion events, and then the training room hosting parties, and my father, again, 7 years running. But this is just another example of events that what we can do there, what we have done there in the past, transforming the space.
All right, so this is the Creative Somerville Series. If this is your first time here, you should check us out next month. And this is part one of the evening. Part two is where we go into the tap room, drink delicious beer, and get to hang out with each other and do that community building thing. Good chance to meet other folks who are working in the area with small businesses, not with small businesses, people who just are excited about connecting with other creative Somerville folks. So thank you guys so much, and stick around and come back next month.
Thank you guys for coming.